Hi, I'm Dick Eydt with Bites by Eydt. We cater to exceptional clientele along the eastern seaboard, from Manhattan to Greenwich to Nantucket, down to Florida, Vero Beach, Boca Raton, and we're based in Atlanta, Georgia. We prepare restaurant quality food that's easy for you to make and delight your family and friends. We're going to do our fan favorites, the best bites, what's really good and what everyone loves. So let's get started. We're doing desserts on this show. So we're going to do Toblerone chocolate chip cookies. We're going to do a creme brulee with almond and vanilla extracts. And we're going to make Toblerone sauce that we'll put on an ice cream sundae with whipped cream. So let's get started. We'll start with the creme brulee, and we'll take one whole egg and then 4 egg yolks. And when I do the egg yolks, I do them in my hand. I take it over the sink or a garbage can, crack the egg on a wooden board, take your time, pour it into the hand, let the egg whites fall through and into the bowl. If you want to do it and put it into a bowl and do it that way, that's fine too. I find this way to be easy, simple, and efficient. If I have to pull it through, there's 3 and 1 more. These are jumbo size eggs. If you use a smaller egg, you could always add an extra egg yolk. Okay? So we have that. We'll pour it in the mixer. We'll add a half a cup of sugar and we'll mix that up. We don't want to mix it up too much, too violently. Now we have 3 cups of heavy cream that has been getting up to temperature. And I like it at about 190 degrees or so, and until it bubbles. So I'll turn the heat up a little bit. We'll get it up to speed. So you definitely want to get it so it is bubbling a little bit, so it is up to temperature, and then we're going to add it into the egg mixture slowly. So as it is coming up to temperature, you want to stir it. You don't want it to burn. You want it to cook evenly, heat up evenly. It's 175 degrees. Okay, it is bubbling. It's at the good temp. We'll take it off and we'll pour it into our mixture. Again, not all at once. You want it low speed, and we'll gradually add in the heavy cream. You can see the color has already changed to a little bit of a yellowish. Add a little bit more in. Another couple of tablespoons. Now, once we have that mixed, I'll add in the vanilla. And you can add Grand Marnier in there. You can add anise. You can add any kind of liqueur you want in there, or not at all. It does create some nice flavor in there. We can take it off. And then we'll add it to the ramekins. We'll cook this at 300 degrees, depending on the thickness of your ramekins. These are thin and shallow, so 30-35 minutes. If they're bigger ramekins, it can take up to an hour, if not more. You can see the yellow coloring of the custard, and there you go, it's ready for the oven. So we'll put this in a Pyrex with a little bit of hot water on the bottom to make a little bit of a bath, and we'll check it constantly after about a half hour, wiggle it. I don't like to overcook my creme brulees. I prefer to undercook them, take them out when they're still wiggly a little bit, and then I chill them overnight. Take them out, and then we creme brulee it. We'll add the sugar and the torch, and it's a great dessert. Okay, so let's do another fan favorite. I even tell my clients, this may sound silly, but it really is one of the best desserts that I make. Who doesn't love warm Toblerone chocolate chip cookies out of the oven? We put them in the oven, we take them out, we serve them, we walk them around, and people go crazy over it. It's simple, but it is a fan favorite. So I use Toblerone chocolate, and I make my own cookie dough, and I'm going to take the Toblerone and cut it into about 5 different pieces. So these are the 13-ounce bars. I take the tip and cut them in half. I take the base and cut it into thirds. So when I put on the chocolate, I invert the Toblerone so that when cookie cooks and it melts, it spreads out evenly over it. The other hack that I use is when I put the cookies on the silicone mat, I put them close enough together so that they don't expand all the way and get fat and skinny. I put them closer together so they're fat and a little bit chewier. I undercook them and take them out and let them rest. So I'll take it upside down and push it down. So then when the chocolate melts, it's going to spread evenly and nicely onto the chocolate chip cookies. Push these down all the way. I'll bake it at 375 for 12 minutes. Again, you want to watch it and check it. You don't want to overcook it. When I do this on the catering side, I will have these cookies left out on the buffet so my guests, so they see that we're doing these cookies, they get excited about it in anticipation. Sometimes I'll even take the raw cookie dough and eat it right off of the buffet table, which is fine. That's what they want to do. It's their party, it's their prerogative. And I typically do, for parties, I'll do about 2 cookies per person, and then I'll typically make a 3rd cookie per person, so there are plenty of leftovers. My host likes to either keep some for their family or they like to give them away. So there it is. Simple crowd pleaser Toblerone chocolate chip cookies, ready for the oven, 12 minutes, 375. There you go. Next one we're going to do ice cream. We're going to do a Toblerone sauce. So we're going to take some chocolate, Toblerone chocolate, and some heavy cream. You can use half and half. I like heavy cream. And we're going to melt this with the heavy cream in there and stir it around, and that will be our sauce for the ice cream. We'll go to the back. We'll add the chocolate, stir it around, and be ready to go. So let's go. So we'll melt some Toblerone chocolate and a little heavy cream. Like I said, you can use half and half, heavy cream. I like heavy cream. Makes it a little bit thicker. Add a couple of bars in there, and we'll stir it around. I got this recipe from my brother's restaurant up in Danbury, Connecticut. I used to be in the advertising business, and my clients loved this Toblerone sauce. So much, I'd make 1,000 jars a year and give it away to my clients, also to the folks that I worked with. They loved it. Again, we want to be careful not to burn the chocolate. Put it on low temperature and just stir it around. We're just making a small batch here, so I added a half a bar, about 6 ounces of Toblerone chocolate, and about 4 ounces, 5 ounces of heavy cream. Just keep on stirring it because this is so light and so easy to burn. You really have to stay on top of it. I'll pull it off the heat and stir it so we get a nice, you can see a nice consistency. If I have to add more chocolate to it, I can, but I want a little bit more heat on there. Stir it around, prevent it from burning. Take it off the heat, stir it. It's Toblerone. So Toblerone is Swiss chocolate. It has nougat in there, it has honey, so it makes it a little bit lighter and sweeter. and it has a little bit of almonds. It's a phenomenal chocolate. It's a great way to finish off your ice cream sundaes. Okay, so we've taken the Toblerone sauce off the heat, and now we're ready for that. Now comes the favorite part for the creme brulee, is the brulee part. We've taken these out, we've cooled them down overnight, and we're ready to put the brulee. So a little bit of sugar, probably a teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of sugar on it. Take it, move it around a little bit so it's equally distributed. We'll do 2 of these. Move this around all the edges, and we'll get this one. Now comes the fun part. You can use a smaller torch, you can use a big torch. I like the big torches. Wasn't that fun, huh? And again, it's my favorite part of doing this, and the clients love it. They'll have a nice little crunch to the top, and I do these for large parties. I'll do 50 or 100 of these things. We'll have it on the main kitchen table. We'll be bruleeing it, and our guests will come up and just steal it right off the table. They won't even wait for it to cool down. I have to warn them that touching the edges, you can burn yourself. So I have to back them off, and they are thankful that I give them a warning, but you could grab it on the bottom is fine, but anything on the top, it's going to be toasty and you'll burn your fingers. With this, you can also garnish it. I like to garnish it with raspberry, blueberries, mint, just something to give it a little bit of color. You're going to let it rest for just a few minutes so it really hardens up the brulee part. And again, I like to make the creme brulees a little bit undercooked, so when you take your first bite, it is very creamy. I don't want it like a custard, I don't want like it cooked all the way through. I do want it so it's very creamy and a great texture. So enjoy this one. We got the Toblerone chocolate chip cookies warm out of the oven. You can see how nicely that they are cut here. So I'm going to cut it and they'll come out quite nicely. We've bruleed the creme brulee. We have the Toblerone sauce for the ice cream. So we'll just take a knife. Once they come out of the oven, I let them rest for at least a couple minutes because they are hot. And the chocolate gets very hot. So we really don't want to burn anyone's roof of their mouth. I'll take the silicone mat out. Makes it a little bit easier to work with. And then I'll cut it lengthwise, crosswise. And you can see, if you recall, we didn't spread them out too much. We put them closer together so that when they cook, that they don't spread out a lot. It's not quite a brownie, but it's not a cookie-like. It's somewhat in between. So when we take it out, you can see it's a little bit thicker, and it's warm. And that's why the clients love these. Warm, out of the oven, Toblerone cookies. And again, you can cook them to a varying degree of doneness. These are cooked pretty much all the way through. You could also cook them so they're quite gooey. If they are going to be gooey, you're going to want to let it to sit that much longer so it comes together. Otherwise, taking it off of the silicone mat will be difficult, and then when you serve it to people, it will fall apart. So these will stay together pretty well. And you can also see how the Toblerone just melted right into the middle and really spread out over the cookie. And so every time someone gets a bite of the cookie, they taste that Toblerone, that honey, the nougat. It's quite spectacular. And there you have our Toblerone cookies. So now for the ice cream, what we can do is I'll do like an ice cream bar. A lot of kids, even the adults, will love the ice cream bar. They'll come up, I'll scoop out the ice cream for them. Do you want 1 scoop? Do you want 2 scoops? Okay, here's 2 scoops. I'll put a cookie in there. You want 1 cookie or 2 cookies? 1 cookie's enough. And then we're going to take the Toblerone sauce, and you'll see how nicely this drizzles into it. At my brother's restaurant, when he had it, he would serve the Toblerone sauce separately in a quite thick ceramic. So you take some ice cream, you take some Toblerone, eat it, then you'd add more Toblerone, keep on adding more Toblerone so it doesn't get cold. The last thing we'll do is take some whipped cream and put that on top, and we'll take a little bit of drizzle on top of there. So there you have it. Creme brulees, Toblerone sauce on ice cream with a Toblerone cookie, or just Toblerone cookies. Some fun desserts, fan favorites, everyone loves them. So you can't go wrong. They're simple, but it's good. So I want to thank my sponsors, Rugged Road Outdoors. I want to thank my Ziploc bags, Calavito extra virgin olive oil, friends from Boston, Baking Steel. Again, we did the salmon, we did the pizzas. It's a great product. So thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you on the next show that we're going to be doing. This wraps up our 12 shows for the season, and we look forward to seeing you back again in the near future. Please watch my show on Eat This TV. Remember, Bites by Eydt on Eat This TV. Enjoy the cooking. If you want to send me a text, 917-856-4543. I always pick up the phone, I always answer the text. So enjoy and happy cooking. Thank you very much.